Alrighty, traders. Alrighty. Welcome to today's live stream. Hope we're all having an amazing weekend. What's going to happen? What in today's session, guys? I'm going to be covering about how trading is like a strong current. And you got to be figuring out where the current really is. Do we have a strong current? Do we not have a strong current? And all that sort of stuff. So that's basically what we're going to be talking about in today's session. Is about, once again, a professional trader looks at his trading. excuse me. Looks at his trading as in a current. Okay. Think about it as a stream. Think about it as a current in the markets and so on and so forth. And that's basically what you want to be looking out for. That's basically what you want to be focusing on. When you're trading the markets, when you're trying to get ahead in the markets. Now, here is the thing. Or before I do start, better start off right. Jeez. Let me start off with, obviously, the typical disclaimer before I start. We'll get started. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, guys. I'm going to be giving you some examples as well too of what that looks like, as well too, like how trading is like that. And this is something that's really, really big in your trading, and how it's really, really, really important to get there. Okay, guys, do not place a trade based on what you'll see in this session today, because trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There is no guarantees of making money in the markets, and trading does take you a long time to become a good trader. So be smart about the way that you're trading. Also, guys, if you haven't done so yet, go to mastertraderlab.com for your free trial. And also, if you're interested in joining me, if you're interested in actually living with me for 4 days while I teach you everything I know about the markets, trading, and actually watching me trade, actually where you live with me in a multi-million-dollar house on the water, I bring a chef in and stuff like that, then just email me at haltrader@gmail.com. Let's get straight into the markets right now. Let me get straight into what I'm talking about here. One of the biggest mistakes that I see so many people make, like if I'm looking at, as I'm doing this session for you today, I'm looking at the Dow Jones where it is right now. Okay, so we actually had a very nice, strong movement in the Dow Jones. But the thing that I'm trying to really focus on and help you with today is how you think about your trading. How do you approach the markets? And what I'm about to talk to you about today has been result of me making so many mistakes. And this one thing still to this day comes back and haunts me every now and then, because I get very egotistic. I stick to my plan. I do really, really well. Month after month after month. I do well. I stick to the plan. I'm patient. And then suddenly I start to become egotistic, and I start to think that I know the markets. I know what's going to happen. And so what ends up happening, I start to try to pick what? Start to try to pick tops and bottoms in the markets. And that never works out, right? Like I see so many comments in the chat box saying that. Like, for example, right now, people trying to short the market. As I'm doing this session right now, people trying to short the market, or people trying to buy the market, or whatever. So here is the thing that that I want to tell you is that whenever the market is flowing, whenever the market is flowing in a direction, you don't want to be trying to fight that market. Okay, you don't want to be trying to fight it. You don't want to be trying to, trying to go against what we call a stream. Okay, so let's have a look at this here. All right, let's actually bring this in simple layman's terms here for a minute. Okay, so I'm going to bring up the good old Snagit tool here for a minute. All right, and so what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna delete everything off the screen here. All right, so let's actually think about this here for as an example. Let's just say, for example, that you saw a stream. Okay, you saw it. Let's actually look at this here, and we're gonna bring up a black here. Actually, you know what? Let's bring up a green here, and let's say, for example, this was you over here. I majored in art, by the way. I majored in art, and this is you over here, right? And then you're watching this stream here. Right, and and you're on the sidelines here, right? You're on the sidelines here on the dirt and on the grass, right? And then there's a river. This whole thing here is a river. Now, when we're looking at the river and when we're looking at this here, we notice that you can see how that right now that this river is what? This river is actually just not really doing much. It's just going sideways, right? There's no real current at all. Now, let me ask you a question. When it comes to when it comes to this current, if you're trying to jump on something that's going to help you go in a direction, if you jump in this current here, is there any momentum in either direction that's going to help you, give you the probability of going direction, right? Say, for example, you wanted to end up here, up north, right? You wanted to end up north. Well, if you jumped in here, right, then you're only using your own willpower, and you may or may not be able to get up to there, right? Because there is no momentum here. Right? Look at the stream here as a momentum here. There's no momentum, is there, right? It's flat. Now, let's actually go back and do this here. Let me take everything off the screen here for a minute. All right, so there we go. So now we said, okay, so now let's have a look at this here. And now, say, for example, now we see the stream, right? But what we're noticing is that the stream is very, very, very strong, and it's streaming, and you can see it streaming very, very strongly to the upside, okay? Streaming. So if you look at this stream, if you look at the stream, where is the moment or the current of this stream, of this river? Where is momentum, right? Momentum is what? Momentum is strongly to the upside. Momentum is strongly to the upside, right? Strongly north. So if you're looking at this stream here and it's very, very, very strongly going to the upside, if you look at that, if you try to jump in this, and it just say, for example, you want to head down south over here, if you jump into this stream and everything's pointing up, if you jump into this stream and you try to paddle down, what are you doing? You're going against it, right? And guess what ends up happening 9 times out of 10? You get washed out and you actually end up here. And now you've got to walk your silly little ass back here again to try to find the next stream to get back into it again, right? Because you weren't patient. So what a lot of people do is that they see this stream, call it in relation terms to trading, they see a stream that's moving up and they say, oh, well, I'm smarter than the market, I'm going to jump into this. And it just keeps going up. But the same is for the flip side on the downside as well too, is that when the market's going down, if you say, okay, I'm going to try and buy the market now, but it's going down, like a lot of people doing with natural gas, and a lot of people did throughout the last, say, 12 months of Bitcoin, they end up, guess what? The stream was continuing to flow down. The stream hasn't shown you its hand yet that it's changed. So what does that mean? That simply means that that simply means that if you see the stream, the current, the river, the momentum in whatever you are looking at, call it a stock, call it a forex market, call it a futures market, call it whatever you want to call it. If you are looking at that and you're noticing momentum, what's going to give you the best chance, right? Because everything's about probabilities. What's going to give you the most probability of doing well in the market? Well, obviously, right, it's sitting on the sidelines and waiting to see where you see a strong current, right? Then what you're doing is you're looking, so, okay, say, for example, this you're seeing this strong current and we're definitely having a nice current pointing to the upside. So, you know what? Let's just do this here. All right. So we're definitely seeing a nice current and we're definitely getting a nice river to the upside. Everything's flowing to the upside. You're like, okay, cool. I see things are very, very, very nicely strong. Momentum is definitely strong on the upside. All right. We have a little pauses and pullbacks and so on and so forth. Now, our job over here, right? Our job over here is to try to find the right time to jump in and let the current take us and then jump back out to try to you know, to grab a little bit of that current, right? And then jump back out. The exact same thing with surfing. The exact same thing with surfing. Many years ago, I started getting into surfing. It was more bodyboarding than actual surfing. I can't surf if life depended on me. I probably could if I tried, but I was more in the bodyboarding. Probably because it was easier. But when I started bodyboarding, right, I realized that if I try to jump on every single thing that comes, every single wave that comes, literally 9 times out of 10, I'm either not going to get it or I'm going to get dumped. You know what happens, right? When you catch the wrong wave, right? You don't capture a good wave, you capture a dumper, and it just dumps you right into the sand because I wasn't patient. And even though I knew like this is not the right way, I'm like, I haven't seen something for 10 minutes, and I'm sitting at the back here watching these waves happen, and I'm just getting ready. And because I was impatient, I jump on the next wave, and I'm just like, please don't be a dumper, please don't be a dumper, and then boom, I get dumped. It's like, oh, a head full of sand. I'm all grazed, my face is all grazed up because I just got dumped in the sand. And I was like, oh. And now I'm going to spend even more time at the back just to get my head clear again, to wait for the next wave to try to jump on it. But and then guess what happens? As soon as I jump on that dumper and I'm just trying to get my head clear, and as soon as I get on that dumper, I get up. And then as soon as that happens, I look out, and then there's this beautiful wave that I could have caught. And I'm just like, if I just waited just that little bit longer, I would have been able to jump on it. I'll give you guys another example of what I'm talking about here when it comes to patience in the markets, right? So let's say, for example, here, okay? And again, this is one of the biggest things, right? So jumping on the current is one thing, but waiting for that right time to jump on that current is the next thing. Don't find out where the current is, i.e. the trend in the markets. And I'm going to go to the charts and show you a few examples of trades of how that works in the actual markets. But patience is also when you identify that trend, that current. If there's no current at all, don't jump on it. If there's a current, where's a trend, that's when you want to start to look to trade with that trend. Now, let's have a look at this here, right? Patience is such a big thing in every area. I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I took my kids out to a theme park here in Australia. Okay. And it was just an amazing time with my kids. We just went on so many rides. I had such a good time, and it was a blast. Okay. Now, what happened was this. There was one ride that we went to go on. Okay. And this, you guys, and this is something that even I have to tell myself every single day, just to be a little bit more patient. You're almost there. Be a little bit more patient. Don't take this one, all right? Just don't jump to the guns. Just be a little bit more patient. If it's not right right now, just sit, be still with it, and things will start to work out. And so what ended up happening was we were in a line, and there was about maybe 6 or 7, maybe even 10 people in front of us in this line waiting for this ride. There was already people on this ride, and we're waiting for that ride to start and finish, and then we're going to be on the next ride. So anyway, what happened is that we were in line, and then suddenly what happened is the people that were on the ride in the first place, before it started, something went wrong. Something went wrong with this ride. So what ended up happening was they had to stop for about probably 10 minutes or so, maybe 15 minutes. And about 5 or so minutes in there was a couple of people that said the ride's broken and all that sort of stuff. So what ended up happening is like they just left, right? They left. They said, okay, the ride's broken. They left. And I could see that, that they didn't want to wait. And my daughter, Bianca, she actually said to me, she goes, Daddy, I think the ride's broken. And I said to my daughter, just be patient. Just be patient. Just give it a little bit longer and we'll see what happens. All right, just be patient. And she goes, oh, okay then. And so we waited for another couple of minutes. And then my daughter said, Daddy, I think it's going to be broken. We should go to another ride. Now I got 3 kids. I got both my sons, and also my daughter. So what ended up happening was, once again, about 5 minutes after this, my daughter then said again. So this is around about 10 minutes now we've been waiting. She goes, Daddy, there's nothing's working. The ride's not even going right now. My daughter was talking to me. My sons, they were just sitting there just dazing out. And I said to my daughter, I said, just be patient, okay? Just be patient. Just you watch. Everything will be fine. Just be patient. And then guess what happens? I'm not joking. About a few minutes after that very last time that my daughter asked me, she asked me about 3 times within the period of 10 minutes. The very last time she asked me, I said, just be patient. You watch. Everything will be fine. Literally maybe 2 or 3 minutes afterwards, they fixed the ride. The ride went on. the ride went, and then suddenly 5 minutes later, we were on that ride having a great time. And every single person that complained and whinged and whined and jumped out is probably now walking to another ride where they're going to wait for another 20 minutes just to get onto it. And we're now enjoying ourselves just because we're patient with it. And when I got off that ride, I said to my daughter, Bianca, I said, see, Bianca, sometimes when you're patient with what's going on in your life, amazing things can happen. Sometimes it just comes to you a bit more easier instead of you trying to force it and rush it and trying to make things happen quicker and quicker. So it was really, really interesting. And I saw that with my kids yesterday. I'm just like, isn't that interesting? That's how trading is. That's how when you're trading the markets, that's how everything happens in the markets, right? So firstly, identify the current. If you're trying to fight the current, you're always going to lose. Okay. And secondly, be patient and wait for the right time. Sometimes, just like surfing, sometimes you've just got to sit there and be patient and say, you know what? I'm feeling stressed right now. I'm feeling very fearful right now. I'm feeling like things are not going to work out right now. And say this to yourself, right? You don't want to store it in your central nervous system. You don't want to store it in your body. You want to say this out loud to help release that tension in your body. And then you have to say, you know what? Big deep breath. Say, you know what? There's just an amazing trade just around the corner. With my trading last month, as I'm doing this session for you, last month, what ended up happening was the first 2 weeks. Now, but bear in mind, guys, I trade 1 to 2 hours with the stock market first in the morning, my time. And then I'm trading anywhere between, say, 5 and sometimes up to 8 hours per night, trading, 6 or 7 or probably 10 different markets across a couple of different time frames, 2 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, and sometimes the 60 minute charts. So I'm watching these markets unfold throughout that time. And throughout 2 weeks, I had no trades at all. And I had to keep saying to myself, now the second week of doing this, I'm just like, oh man, and then suddenly what happening, right? My standard started to drop because I started looking at things like, well, that's sort of a good trade. And I'm like, no. I had to snap myself out of it. No, that's not, sort of is not good enough. I need to keep my standards high. So I had to keep saying to myself, there's an amazing trade just around the corner. There's an amazing trade just around the corner. There's an amazing trade just around the corner. I cannot be taking shit trades. Now, by the way, guys, if you haven't been trading that long, I link so much pleasure to be taking shit trades because I lost so much money in the past by doing that shit. And if there's any doubt or any uncertainty when I'm actually in a trade, guess what? I'm bailing on that thing real as quick as you can look at me. So that doesn't normally happen because I'm very, very patient with my trades. But then guess what? After doing this, remember I said before, right? The first week I was fine. The second week I was starting to get a bit itchy. Guess what ended up happening? At the end of the second week, a beautiful setup that I think gave me 2 or 3 times my risk on that trade. So as an example, right? As an example, if I was risking $5,000 on that trade, I would have made $10,000 to $15,000 on that one trade. As an example, right? I'm not going to tell you my exact numbers, but I'm trying to share with you that one really good trade gave me a 2 to 3 times my return on risk on that trade. Just because I waited for the right time. And so I want to encourage you with your trading, a few things here. Firstly, are you identifying the current? The current is the trend. One of my recent coaching clients, and you guys, you may have seen this. He took a trade just recently, and he's actually he was a coaching client last year, and this was a trade that he took here. Now, the trade that he took was right here, right? It was on this breakout candle here. Now, I'm not going to get into the full system and so on and so forth. If you're interested in joining my coaching program, having me share my system and me coach you every single week, then just email me at howtrader@gmail.com and I'll be able to schedule a time. Just put in the subject line coaching. But the thing is this, right, is that this was a trade here. So if I look at this market, if I go back to this time of this breakout candle here, okay, let's just do this for a minute. We go back to a time with this breakout candle. Where was the trend? All right, let's look at this here. So if I let me bring up the good old Snagit tool here for a minute. Just this is an amazing, amazing setup. And I always tell my coaching clients, wait for amazing setups that are like this, that also meet the rules. That, what you see right now, guys, is probably maybe 20% of what makes a really good trade. I still need to check the higher time frames and so on and so forth. Okay, so but look at this here, right? Right now, this market came down, made a low, and it came down, made a lower high, and then it came down and made a low. Is this the bottom here? Well, some people that thought the bottom was in, right? They were for a short time. Then the market came down, created what? A double bottom, and then the market started running up. Has the market bottomed here? Well, we don't know at that time, right? Remember, it's all about probability, isn't it? It's all about probability in the markets. So what ends up happening, right? We run up, then we go sideways. We create a significant higher low, higher high, and now we're breaking up. So as of this breakout candle here, breaking up and out, by the way, guys, trading is not just about having a breakout candle. There's so many breakout candles that you shouldn't take because they're false breakouts. You're going to get your head into. You got to know exactly what to look for. But this was a perfect setup. Perfect setup. So now where is the stream? Where is the current? The current is what? Up. And so by looking at this, right, higher low and then breaking out, this now has a very, very, very high probability chance of being a nice runner. And actually, indeed, it was. It was a beautiful, beautiful setup. I think my coaching client shared with me, I think he took he bought an option, out of the money option, this one, something crazy like a 1,400% return or something. It was just crazy. This thing completely took off. Something like that, guys. It was just an amazing, amazing trade, right? I share a trade with you. I share with you another trade. Now, I could bring up all my past trades this month, but I haven't. I'll do that a bit later on. But I want to share with you another trade over here, right? So look at this over here. This here. All right, look at this here. So this was a trade that I took last year, okay? So where was this, right? Look at this here. Look at this here. If I bring up, once again, I bring up my good old Snagger tool here for a minute. If I bring up my good old Snagger tool here for a minute, okay? If the market's doing this, where is the stream? Where is the current? It's what? Nowhere, right? There's nothing there. There's no current. There's no stream. Okay? There is no stream. There's no current. There's no nothing there. So don't be getting involved with that. Do not be getting involved with that. Why? Because there is just nothing there. There is no stream. There's no current. Okay? The probability, guys, the probability is that when you're getting in a market that's going sideways, it's likely to keep going sideways. It's very volatility. It's very volatile. It's very unpredictable. You don't want to be getting in that. So I didn't trade this thing. I didn't trade this stock for the entire year, right? But then guess what happened? We had a low and we started creating a higher low, or a higher high, sorry. Then we started creating a higher low. Look at my moving average. Look how strong my moving average is now starting to point up, right? Instead of being sideways, it's now starting to point up. What does that mean? It means there's strong momentum in the markets, right? There's strong momentum. We had this sideways movement through here, and then we had a nice breakout candle here. That was the candle that I entered on. And guess what? Then this is what happened. Right? We started seeing a really, really nice move up from there. Why? Because I waited for the market to tell me, now we're starting a trend. If you're getting into a market that's going sideways, you're doing yourself dissatisfaction. And worse is if the market is showing you it's going up by looking at the trend, and also use a moving average. Use a long-term moving average. I use a 52, but all I use it for is to see where there is momentum, right? As you can see, right? Look at this period through here. This entire period through here, where was the moving average? Flat. That means there's no momentum at all. Flat. But the most highest probability trades is when you have momentum behind it. So as you can see, right, as the market started to pick up, look at the momentum there. Look at the angle of the moving average. No wonder it was a successful trade. You know, and so on and so forth. Like I can share with you guys so many trades out there. You know, let me just share. Let me just go to, you know, I'll just share just one of the trades that I took last month, right? Like here was a trade here. Now, this is a daily chart. Let me show you a 2-minute chart here. All right, I think this was a 2-minute chart anyway. Yeah, here we go. NASDAQ 2-minute chart. Firstly, where is the trend clearly on the chart? Got a low down here. We've got a higher high. Market came back, created a higher low and had a nice breakout candle. Where's my moving average? Nicely pointing up. What does that mean? Momentum is strong to the upside. If that's the case, why would you want to try to go against this here? The probability is don't try and fight the market. Try to jump on the market. So whenever we're looking at things like that, all right, and whenever we're looking at let's actually do this here. Whenever we're looking at that, that's what you want to do. Think about trading as you don't have to pick the tops and bottoms to do well in the markets. In fact, that's the wrong way to look at it. Trying to pick tops and bottoms in the markets. What you want to do is if the market is heading down, okay, let's just do this here for an example. Market's heading down, lower high, lower low, lower high. Comes up, makes a higher low, and like that, okay? Well, what you want to do is that instead of trying to say this is the bottom here, this is the bottom here, this is the bottom here, which you don't know, what you want to do is if you look at the market as trends, right? There's a high, low, and a lot of the times you'll see that the market stair steps in 3 phases, like it has this 1 stair step, 2 stair step, and 3 stair step. There's like 3 major stair steps in the markets. That happens most of the time, sometimes a bit more. But what you want to do is instead of trying to pick, and if the market then suddenly starts to change trend, does that, what you want to do is you want to try and capture. You want to try and let's just do this here. You want to try and capture. Don't try and pick the bottom. That's wrong. What you want to do is you want to try and capture this part through here. Wait for the market to tell you it's trending and then try to jump on. Call it 70% of the move, right? If I share with you, the Bitcoin, let me see if I can do this here. All right. Yeah, I'll do this here. If I share with you my Bitcoin short trade, I'll share with you exactly what I did. And so we can go from there. So let's go over to just trying to bring up my platform here, trying to bring up Bitcoin. All right, so I haven't got my trading platform up that I trade Bitcoin with, but let me just bring up investing.com so I can share this with you, and I'll share with you what I did. All right, so, and again, guys, it's not about picking the tops, picking the bottoms. Most people think that they have to do that to try to predict the next big move, or they want to get in before everyone else gets in, or they want to get it. It's the wrong way to go. And people who call tops and bottoms are wrong 9.5 times out of 10. Right. So let's look at this here, this daily chart here. Okay. So people right now are still saying, right now as I speak, that Bitcoin's bottomed out. There is nothing here to say Bitcoin's bottomed out. How can you be so sure? Because the same people that are saying Bitcoin's bottomed out right now were the same people that say 6,000 is going to hold and it's going to break up and out. And we're going to see a big vertical spike. So if I go back to here, let me squeeze my chart up here. If I go back to this point here, this breakout candle here was when I entered short on Bitcoin. So if you're looking at this, what is this market doing, right? It's pretty much sideways, but it was making what? High, lower high, equal high. It was a lower high and then breaking down. Especially when you look at that weekly chart at the time, and this is what I was focusing on, was look at this here. Right? Look at this here. High, lower high, lower high. And then we had another lower high, and then we started to break down. So what is with that? That is what? That's trading with the trend. Now, what did I do with that trade? And I'll just share with you. I didn't capture the whole move down. I didn't know where the whole move was, but I managed my trade to where I entered right here, right there, and I got stopped out right here. So I didn't capture the exact top or the exact bottom, but what did I capture? I captured probably 70% of the move. 70% of the move. But I waited for the market high, lower high trend and starting to flow down. Then I started to jump on it. Now, by the way, guys, I have an actual trading setup that I look for. Excuse me. I have an actual trading setup that I look for. And you must know, even if you have trend analysis and so on and so forth, stuff like that is basic charting analysis. But if you have it, but what you must do and what you must understand about trading is all about, you do that, right? But I still have to have my trading set up in the markets. I still must have my trading set up in the markets. It's not me just guessing, right? So I can look at the stream, I can look at the current, I can look at what's going on right now, but guess what? I still have to wait for my trading setup. So I'm trying to share with you, that's the whole thing there. But whenever you're the basic thing about successful trading is indeed just don't try and fight the stream. Basically, don't try and fight that trend or whatever, because that's what the market does, right? It goes through different streams. It goes through a flat stream, and then the flat current, then it goes through a bullish current, and then it goes through a bearish current. You want to be flowing with the market as well too, seeing what the market is doing, and then respond to what the market is going to do, not trying to predict what the market is going to do. Respond to what the market is doing, not trying to predict what the market is going to do, because no one knows what the market is going to do. So if you guys have any questions, guys, then let me know. If you guys are we still live? I think so. If you guys have any questions at all, then let me know, and I will answer your questions, and we can go from there. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's session. And Shirley, it is live. There you go. It's live right now anyway for you. Hi friends, Gold Silver. Hey man. Hey John, can you pull the DJ October 1987? I compared the two and it's so similar. Posted it on TradingView Friday. DJ stands out just a little over 78% retracement. You know what? I wouldn't try to compare this time to any time frame in the markets. Don't do that. All right, don't do that. You may be right, you may be wrong. So don't try and say, because what you're trying to do, Rajay, I think it is. I can just call you Rav, right? Rav. What's really, really, really important is this, okay? Is that when you do that, you're trying to find something similar that has, 1937 did this, so it looks very, very similar. So there's a really good chance it's going to happen right now. So let's go trade the market based on that. Wrong. Wrong. What are you doing? You're trying to predict what's going to happen. Yes, very similar things are, like Ray Dalio said that. Very similar things are like 1937 right now. It doesn't mean the market is going to operate in that way, in the same fashion, in the same way. What you want to do is that you want to respond to what the market is doing, i.e., where's the current, where's momentum, not try to predict what the market is going to do. And when you're trying to pick it, when you're trying to, like right now, when you're trying to buy Bitcoin right now, who knows it's going to be a bottom? Like no one knows. It's just being thrown sideways. There is nothing there. And people say, oh yeah, well, John, guess what? I got in before that big spike up on Bitcoin. Total bullshit. Seriously, total bullshit. You've been calling, yeah. And how many trades have you actually lost? How many times have you actually lost because you've been trying to buy Bitcoin all the way up, and then you buy it the one time, and then suddenly you celebrate, but the 9 times you got it wrong, it's like, oh, that didn't happen. Come on now. Total bollocks. 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 Total bollocks. All right. I need the lecture. Been trading against the current. Fantastic. JP Morgan entry at 106.54 with a stop loss with a price target of 1-to-1 ratio. So what do I think? Well, Shirley, the whole fact of the matter is this. Due to the fact that you're actually asking me what I think, tells me that you shouldn't be in this trade. Trading is all about confidence. Trading is all about trading a trading plan that trading rules that meet your trading plan, and you take that trading plan and that trading setup every single time. So Shirley, if you're trading right now and you don't have a trading setup that you're looking for, you're just getting in because you think it's a good idea, you're going to keep losing money. I guarantee it. Because I can show you my, like just the last couple of months. I can show you all my trades for the last couple of months that I've taken on the stock market, and every single one of them look almost identical. Oh no, not the stock market, on all markets, should I say, futures, forex. Almost every single one of them look almost identical to each other. Why? Because I wait for my. That's what trading success is all about, guys. It's just waiting for your trading setup in the markets and then trading it, and then not being too greedy and trying to make a lot of money out of it. And saying, well, I'm only going to take a 1-to-1, I'm going to take a 2-to-1 or a 3-to-1 or whatever it is. It's like the way I trade the markets is I have a trading setup. I get into it and then I just manage the trade. I get into it and then I just manage the trade. Okay, market, you tell me what is this going to give me? I let the market tell me. Sometimes I'm only getting like half of what I risk. If I risk $5,000, sometimes I'm only making $2,500. As an example, that is. I'm using an example there. But then other times, if I'm risking $5,000, I'm making 15, 20 grand on it because it has a big move. Like, I don't let the market tell me I don't say, okay, market, I'm looking to make this much money from you. I say, market, you tell me. I simply say, okay, now I'm in a good setup. You tell me what's a good time to get into it. So yeah, that's basically what you want to do there. All right, cool. Yeah, so I hope that makes sense with your trading as well too. So that's what you need to do. So guys, if you haven't got a trading setup, then you need to go find a coach. If you want to get my trading setup, then you can apply for my coaching program, or you can come to my platinum event where you come and live with me for 4 days and I teach you everything and I trade live in front of you, show you exactly in there. And sometimes I'm sitting there for a whole night and I don't take a trade. But if you want to come and live with me for 4 days, my platinum event, or you want to get my weekly coaching, just email me at howtrader@gmail.com and I'll be able to help you out there. But the thing is, this, guys, is that whether it's me or someone else, you need to find a setup, right? And your number one job is to only take that setup. I tell all my coaching clients, if you just waited for these A quality setups that I teach you, you will do well, period. It's all that other shit in between those really good trades that knocks you off your progress, knocks you off your momentum, knocks you off, where you're going and where you're going and what's happening there. That's what stops you from moving forward in a big way. It's that sort of stuff. It's that crap trades that trying to force it and rush and everything that I spoke about in today's session. So guys, the point I'm trying to make here is this: firstly, the market is like a current. If the current is flat, meaning it's just going sideways, then there's no real high probability that the market's going to take you anywhere. There's no probability there. All right. If the current is starting to stream up, starting north, we're starting to get a nice uptrending market, don't try and say, well, the market's going to top now. Okay. Don't try and say that, oh, the market's going down like Bitcoin right now and say the bottom's in. You may be right. But the same people are trying to call Bitcoin bottom right now have been trying to call Bitcoin bottom for the last 12 months. They will be right. But their account is blowing up by the time they actually are right. It's like people try to short the market. And guys, the reason why I can say this is because I used to be this guy. I used to be that guy. It's like, damn, again, how many times do I have to learn this stupid lesson? There's another option's expired, worthless on me. Damn. And then I did that consistently for a while. And now I don't do it because I'm linking so much pain to that. Because I'm like, I'm losing so much damn bloody money by doing this shit. Now I just stick to what I know that works. And then I end up doing more in the long run. And guess what? Guess what, guys? And I always tell my coaching clients this. Even if there is, firstly, find exactly what you're looking for. And then on top of that, even if there is no trades for a whole couple of weeks, you are still up by default, because 90+% of traders out there right now are saying, like, even to this day, right, are saying, man, I just wish my account was where it was at the start of the year. or 2 months ago. I just wish it was there. Man, if I just didn't force things, I didn't rush things. I just wish I was back there. I know so many people that are watching this right now are thinking that. And so I tell all my coaching clients, if your account has been flat and nothing's been going on with your trading account for 2 weeks, and you're being patient, you're being consistent at showing up every day and watching the market and waiting for those really good quality trades, you are up, my friend. You are up by default by doing that. You don't realize that. And just like the story with my daughter and the ride yesterday that I took them to the theme park, just be patient. Just around the corner, just to be a little bit more patient, just a little bit more patient. Just to be a little bit more patient, a little bit more patient, a little bit more patient, and then there'll be really, really, really good trade just around the corner. The current one you are showing looks like it has no upside potential, and then it's up. Makes no sense. Lower lows, lower highs, and then goes up. Yeah, well, of course, Jesse, right? The thing is this, Jesse, okay? The thing is this, right, is that I'm not saying right now, Jesse, I'm not saying right now, but what I'm saying is that the market will start to trend in a favor. Just because the market is going down, this is the big thing for you, Jesse, right? The market's never going to tell you, okay, we're going to start to go for a big run right now. The market's generally not going to tell you that, okay? But the thing is this, is that this is where, if you're looking at this here, then if you're looking at this here right now, and you're looking at, you're calling it lower lows, lower highs, right? Fantastic. Well, this is how the markets work, right? Let's actually look at this here. So if the market, if this trend here, now there is no trade here, Jesse, but what I was talking about before, you would buy right now? Well, you're nuts. Why would you buy right now when you understand that how the markets work? They go for a run, then they pull back. They go for a run, they pull back. I wouldn't be buying anything right now up here. But what I'm trying to share with you here is this, is that high, lower high, lower high. Yes, it had a lower high. We had another lower high, equal high. Okay. And then we had another lower high through here. So low, lower low. Oh, what is this? This is a higher, say it with me, Jesse. It's a higher low, breaking through previous highs, and now breaking through previous major sort of major highs up here as well too. So right here is where the trend actually changed. This is, so this point right here, right? So this point right here, we actually made a higher low, didn't we? We made a higher low, but did it actually break through? Did it actually break through the previous highs? No. So then the market didn't change. Then it came down, came back up, didn't create a higher high, but it created what? A higher low, breaking through previous highs, and then the market started to change. You see what I'm saying there, Jesse? It's like you've got to really analyze what the market is doing at that time, and you can see what's happening there. The market did start to change its tune, start to change its trend, and the real confirmation, like even though this higher low, as you can see, right, it was this breakout candle here that broke above all these resistance, now started that new upward trend. Now you don't know exactly that's going to happen. And by the way, guys, I'm not saying trade based exactly on this. This is just learning how to read the charts. Right? This is exactly how you just look at, this is how you read the charts. Read the charts, read the charts, read the charts based on this. This is reading the charts. This is not you trading the markets. All right? This is reading the charts. And come on, Jesse, my man, like you've been following me now for quite some time, right? Like this is basic one-on-one analysis. You've been following me for quite some time. I expect more out of you, my man. So that's basically what what the market's all about. So, and again, you never can predict the next big move out there. But this is about analyzing the markets. Well, Jesse, you've been following me for a long time, for quite some time, my man, and you've always heard me say, don't try and pick tops and bottoms and don't fight the market and all that sort of stuff. And you just continue to refuse to listen to what I say and then do what you want to do. So of course that's what's going to happen most times out of 10. Not to say that I'm always right. No, I'm not always right. It's not about me being right anyway. I'm right when I listen to the market. That's it. So guys, this is me reading the markets. All right, this is me reading the charts, reading the markets, but you don't trade based on this. You're trying to get a good understanding of who's in control. Remember, at the end of the day, everything I'm talking about here means nothing unless you have your one setup. And just like Jesse, who's trying to short the market or trying to buy, trying to buy the lows and trying to do all this sort of stuff right now, getting in because he thinks it's a good idea, you're going to keep going backwards, my man. You're going to keep going backwards. If you really want to do well this year, then get your shit together. That's a coaching one-on-one to you, my man. Because you've been following me quite some time. So anyway, the only way sometimes the only way for a man to learn, and you know what? I'm the same. I was coached for many years by my mentor, and I kept doing the same shit over and over again until I then realized how much this is actually costing me, not only in the progress. Jesse, my man, you're doing the same shit over and over and over again, expecting a different result. Don't you understand that? You're still doing the same shit. You're still trying to pick a bottom in the markets. Don't you understand that? Stop doing the same shit over and over again and expecting a different result. You're still doing it. What you're doing right now in oil, if you're trying to buy oil right now, is exactly what you did with natural gas. That's the same shit. You're trying to pick a bottom. Come on, man. Seriously. You are going to keep banging your head on the wall, I tell you. See, this is what I do with my coaching clients, guys, right? This is like a bit of a free coaching call, Jesse. And most people don't realize, like that's the same thing. Like Jesse, completely thing. Natural gas crossed him because he tried to pick a bottom. He's getting into oil right now because he thinks it's the bottom. Now, Jesse, you may be right? You may be right in the market. You may be right, it's the bottom. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to be wrong, just like natural gas crushed you. But then the biggest thing you're doing wrong right now, Jesse, is you're getting into it right now because you think it's a good idea, not because it has a proven trading pattern / setup that you know that works for you. And that's how you get ahead. No, I think oil is breaking out. There you go. You think, Jesse. Jesse, if you're not trading a proven trading setup on the chart, the exact pattern on a chart, and that's how you're trading, you're going to keep going backwards. You're going to keep going backwards. You've got to stop trying. You've got to stop trying. You've got to stop trying to say, well, it's breaking past previous resistance, so I'm going to get in now. Or I think, see that word there? I think. There is no thinking, right? There is no thinking. You shouldn't be taking a trade, guys, unless it's based on a proven setup. That's your foundation, right? Jesse B had been here for 2 months asking about natural gas and trying to get other people to tell him it will go up. Yes, exactly right. Exactly right. Now, I'm not here to pick on you, Jesse B. I've done the same shit so many times, so I'm not here to pick on you, but I am trying to give you a bit of a kick up the ass saying, listen, you're still going about this the entire wrong way. You're wasting all your time here. Firstly, you're trying to pick a bottom in the markets. And you're just still going about this the wrong way. You're not spending your time. You are not spending your time developing a trading plan. Yes, that means you may have to go invest with someone's course, whether it's my coaching program or someone else's, but you got to start with that first. If you are just, and again, most people don't realize this, they trade one market, they do something, then they go to another market and they do the exact same thing. It's how you're approaching that trading. How are you approaching your trading? Are you still getting in when you think, Jesse, is a good idea? Or are you getting in when you know it's a good trade setup based on a proven plan? Because everything I've said in this session today and many other sessions have been always trade a trading plan. It's not I have no idea what's going to happen. The only thing I do know is when I see a really good quality setup, I'm all over it. It's on like Donkey Kong. John is right. You need to apply a proven trading system and then apply a system in real time with rigged discipline. Rigged discipline. Rigid, rigid discipline. Yeah. I think copper will go up. There you go, my man. There you go. The moldly mushroom. Well, it doesn't matter about what you think. It's about, are you trading a proven setup? That's your foundation. It doesn't matter what you think, because what you think 9 times out of 10 is going to be wrong anyway. High probability pattern traders are based upon a proven trading strategy where entries and exits are defined. Exactly. Approach trading like an old lady picking out the fruit. Anyway, guys, I'm done for the day. I'm gonna spend the rest of the weekend, or it's weekend for me anyway, still here. Rest of the weekend with my kids. Have an amazing day, guys, and I will catch you all later on.